The U.S. Navy has now laid the keel for its first of its kind next-generation destroyer, the Flight 3 DDG-51, to be called the future USS Jack Lucas. It's a next-generation warship with a host of new technologies. The Navy plans to build a number of them. It not only includes more onboard power, advanced weaponry, but also a next-generation, far more powerful, far more sensitive radar. It's called the AN/SPY SPY-6 V1. Now, this is reported to be 35 times more sensitive, more powerful than existing radars. One, it can detect objects almost twice the distance and half the size. Two, it not only does ballistic missile defense, but it also combines it with air and missile defense so that it can detect lower flying enemy assets, such as a helicopter, a drone, even incoming enemy missiles. The farther away you can see an approaching threat, naturally, the more time commanders have to decide which element of the layered defense is best suited to take out that threat. So it changes the sensor to shoot or kill time and can also enable destroyers to operate in higher threat areas. There are many variants of this radar. It's described by Raytheon engineers as something that's scalable as well as built with open architecture, so it can accommodate new software upgrades, new hardware as it becomes available. It uses a new material called gallium nitride, which is more effective than the current materials used in radar. The other variants are the SPY-6 V2 and V3. These are tailored for specific missions on carriers and amphibs, so they can address the needs of those ships. Now, when traveling in a carrier strike group, something like a destroyer would be tasked with protecting the other ships, so that would need the longest range, the most sensitive radar, something like a V1 variant. Now, that has 37 radar module assemblies. The V2 and the V3 have 9. There's also a fourth one, the AN/SPY-6 V4. That's being retrofitted onto existing DDG-51 destroyer Flight 2As. The whole concept of this is to give next-generation warships, the surface fleet, an ability to integrate with weapons and fire control by detecting threats at much further ranges and much smaller threats. And of course, widening the envelope with which a destroyer or a surface ship can detect an enemy threat, therefore changing their tactical picture and improving their strategic options. If you have a high threat enemy area, but you can see smaller projectiles at much further ranges, and you can not only have to switch systems, but use a single system for counter drone, counter helicopter, as well as ballistic missile defense, it gives you a unified picture, a streamlined technology, and also a much wider, much broader threat picture. Everything from the tippest end of the Earth's atmosphere to things that are close in. Kris Osborn, Warrior Maven.